Jaya Kasi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Kasi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi
Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Tulsi Maharani
Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Devi Jaya
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Stotar Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Stotar Shata Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki. Shri Mathur Dham Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Gangamai Ki. Yamunamai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Naranayam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasa Dev, the author. Nasta praisa bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavadutam Ashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we'll be continuing in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 62, and we'll begin with text 28. Tata pravyatito bano duhitu shruta dushanaha Varita kanyakagaram prapto drakshir yadudvaham Tata pravyatito bano duhitu shruta dushanaha Tvarita kanyakagaram prapto drakshid yadudvaham Tata pravyatito bano duhitu shruta dushanaha Tvarita kanyakagaram Prapto drakshid yadudvaham Pravyatito bano duhitu shruta dushanaha Pravyatito bano dushruta dushanaha kanyakagaram Prapto drakshid yadudvaham. Word for word meanings. Tata, then. Pravyatita, very agitated. Banaha, Banasura, Duituhu, of his daughter. Shruta, having heard of. Dushanaha, the corruption. Tvaritaha, quickly. Kanyaka, of the unmarried girls. Agaram, The quarters. Prapta. Reaching. Adrakshit. He saw. Yadu Udvaham. The most eminent of the Yadus. Translation. Very agitated to hear of his daughter's corruption, Banasura rushed at once to the maiden's quarters. There he saw the pride of the Yadus, Aniruddha. Please repeat. Very agitated to hear of his daughter's corruption, Banasura rushed at once to the maiden's quarters. There he saw the pride of the Yadus, Aniruddha. There's no purport. There's a short tika by Jiva Goswami. He came to her quarters secretly, Praptaha, and saw the best of the Yadus. And Sanatana Goswami writes, on hearing of his daughter's corruption from the guards, Tata, he went to her room in pain, but quietly, secretly. And I thought we'd go on to the next verse, which is actually 2 verses. So I'll just read that. Read those. Amatmajam tam bhuvanaika sundaram shamam pishan gambaram ambujakshanam Brihadbhujam kundala kuntala tvisha smitava lokena cha manditananam divyantam akshayi priya yabin rimnaya taranga sangastana kunkuma shrajam bhavordadanam madhu malikashritam tasyagra ashinam Aveksha Vishmitaha. Translation. Banasura saw before him Cupid's own son, possessed of unrivaled beauty, with dark blue complexion, yellow garments, lotus eyes, and formidable arms. His face was adorned with effulgent earrings and hair, and also with smiling glances. As he sat opposite his most auspicious lover, playing with her at dice, there hung between his arms a garland of spring jasmines that had been smeared with kumkum powder from her breast when he had embraced her. Banasura was astonished to see all this. Purport. Banasura was amazed at Aniruddha's boldness. The prince was calmly sitting in the young girl's quarters, playing with Bana's supposedly unmarried daughter. In the context of the strict Vedic culture, this was an unbelievable thing to witness. And there's a couple tikas, I'll read those. Jiva Goswami writes, 2 verses describe Aniruddha. His beauty is described. He was playing dice fearlessly. This shows his charming nature. His garland was smeared with the kumkum from her breast. This shows auspicious clothing of a married person. He had a garland of the best jasmines, flowing with honey. The monsoon months had come, as will be mentioned later. He was sitting in front of Bana. He did not rise out of fear. Bana was astonished by his beauty and fearlessness in his presence. And Sanatana Goswami writes, 2 verses describe Aniruddha. Because he was the son of Pradyumna, who was Cupid, he was the most beautiful person in the world. His beauty is then described. His face was decorated with the effulgence of his locks and earrings. He was playing dice with his beloved, who was auspiciously dressed, Anin Rimnaya. This indicates that he was fearless. The garland smeared with her kumkum indicates his skill and love. Bana saw Aniruddha from a distance and was astonished by his beauty and by his coming there. Though later the monsoon season is mentioned, he wore jasmines which blossom in spring. Out of fear of Bana, all the seasons were present in his city. Or, according to Harivamsa, Usha had her dream on the waxing Dwadashi of Vaishakha month. Thus jasmines would blossom then. After spring ended, during the summer they looked everywhere for Aniruddha. After the monsoon season, when Margashirsha month arrived, they lamented. Or the garland made of jasmines, endowed with honey, Madhu, rested on his shoulders. He was sitting. He did not rise out of fear when Bana came. Om Jnana Timurandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshar Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swavadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapata Kamalam Shri Guru and Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijina Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Cha Hey Krishna Korana Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sita Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning, Hare Krishna. So today we're continuing this pastime between Usha and Aniruddha, and pretty soon Banasura is going to be involved in this pastime. And Banasura is this personality, very devoted to Shiva, but he's very puffed up with pride, and he has 1,000 arms. And he has this daughter, Usha. And Usha is with her girlfriends, and anyways, one night she has a dream, and in that dream, she's having an intimate relation with this beautiful man, who turns out to be Aniruddha. But when she wakes up, her friend Chitralekha, sees that she's had this dream and is affected by this dream and is wondering what's going on, what happened. And she explains to her about the dream, about this personality, and Chitralekha is down for the cause to help her try and find this person for her to marry. So she draws all these pictures based on descriptions of all these celestial beings and these great personalities, beautiful personalities. And then she sees a picture of Pradyumna, Aniruddha's father, and gets a little bashful. And then she sees a picture of Aniruddha, and then she's like, oh, that's the one. And somehow, it's been explained in previous classes, Chitralekha uses this mystic power, if you will, to go and visit Aniruddha in the palace. And while he's sleeping, according to Krishna book, she somehow transports him from that palace to Usha's room, or Usha's little palace, house, whatever. And I'm just going to read a little bit from the Krishna book, from there to up to today's verse. The palace in which Usha and Chitralekha lived was so well fortified that it was impossible for any male to either enter or see inside. Usha and Aniruddha lived together in the palace, and day after day, the love of Usha for Aniruddha grew 4 times upon 4 times. Usha pleased Aniruddha with her valuable dresses, flowers, garlands, scents, and incense. By his bedside sitting place were other paraphernalia for residential purposes, nice drinks such as milk and sherbet, and nice eatables which could be chewed or swallowed. Above all, she pleased him with sweet words and very obliging service. Aniruddha was worshipped by Usha as if he were the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By her excellent service, Usha made Aniruddha forget all other things and was able to draw his attention and love upon her without deviation. In such an atmosphere of love and service, Aniruddha practically forgot himself and could not recall how many days he had been away from his real home. In due course of time, Usha exhibited some bodily symptoms by which it could be understood that she was having intercourse with a male friend. The symptoms were so prominent that her actions could no longer be concealed from anyone. Usha was always cheerful in the association of Aniruddha, but she did not know the bounds of her satisfaction. The housekeeper and the watchman of the palace could guess very easily that she was having relations with a male friend, and without waiting for further development, all of them informed their master Banasura. In Vedic culture, an unmarried girl having association with a male is the greatest disgrace to the family, and so the caretaker cautiously informed his master that Usha was developing symptoms indicating a disgraceful association. The servants informed their master that they were not at all neglectful in guarding the house, being alert day and night against any young man who might enter. They were so careful that a male could not even see what was going on there, and so they were surprised that she had become contaminated. Since they could not trace out the reason for it, they submitted the whole situation before their master. Banasura was shocked to understand that his daughter Usha was no longer a virgin maiden. This weighed heavily on his heart, and without delay he rushed towards the palace where Usha was living. There he saw that Usha and Aniruddha were sitting together and talking. Usha and Aniruddha looked very beautiful together, Aniruddha being the son of Pradyumna, who was Cupid himself. Banasura saw his daughter and Aniruddha as a suitable match, yet for family prestige he did not like the combination at all. Banasura could not understand who the boy actually was. He appreciated the fact that Usha could not have selected anyone in the three worlds more beautiful. Aniruddha's complexion was brilliant and swarthy. He was dressed in yellow garments and had eyes just like lotus petals. His arms were very long, and he had nice curling bluish hair. The glaring rays of his glittering earrings and the beautiful smile on his lips were certainly captivating. Still, Banasura was very angry. When Banasura saw him, Aniruddha was engaged in playing with Usha. Aniruddha was nicely dressed, and Usha had garlanded with various beautiful flowers. The reddish kumkum powder put on the breasts of women was spotted here and there on the garland, indicating that Usha had embraced him. Banasura was struck with wonder that even in his presence, Aniruddha was peacefully sitting in front of Usha. Aniruddha knew, however, that this would-be father-in-law was not at all pleased and that he was gathering many soldiers in the palace to attack him. So that brings us up to today's verse. And it was kind of reminded me of so many movies that I've seen growing up. I can't think of a specific one right now, but it's just that a parent walks in on the child enjoying with someone they're not supposed to, and then it's like all this shock, and then the parent or whoever's in charge is like, I'm going to get that person or teach that person a lesson, and it's like this whole pastime. And I thought that was, it reminded me of like all these Hollywood movies and how all this stuff essentially comes from Krishna. One thing in Tikas that stood out for me was that Aniruddha, of course he's enjoying with Usha, which is considered taboo in Vedic civilization. It's considered taboo pretty much in general. Omkar Prabhu gave a very good class in detail about that. But what he's fearless, and one could say, well, why is Aniruddha kind of breaking the Vedic principles? Well, part of it is he was just kind of brought there, but also he's essentially non-different than Krishna, so he can do whatever he wants. This is his movie. He can, play out any sort of pastime. But his fearlessness is kind of what stood out to me. Is anybody here completely free of fear? I don't know, maybe some of you are, but I find myself a lot of times, I shouldn't say a lot of times, but sometimes battling with fear and, wanting to be fearless. And just a short, and what happens when you're fearful and you have fear is you become inactive or lethargic. And I just want to share a quick story about this word lethargy. So when I was a youth, maybe 12, 13, I went with my best friend to go see my first concert. And it was a local band called Lethargy. And it was just a heavy metal band. It was like rough and aggressive. But at the time, I thought, oh man, this is amazing. This is great. And I was obsessed with this band, right? And I got their tape, and I was just listening to it all the time. And long story short, I ordered a T-shirt from them, and it never came. And I was upset, and I could never figure out what happened to this T-shirt. And then for years and years, even up until recently, I was still thinking, oh, this T-shirt. I wonder whatever happened to this T-shirt, So then I was online, and I saw that somebody had created this T-shirt, and I told my friend about it. And he bought me this, shirt, and he sent it to me. Anyway, so I'm thinking, that day when I got the shirt, I was like, oh, lethargy. And for some reason, I was thinking about Vishnu Jan Swami, which is rare. And I was like, oh, I want to listen to Vishnu Jan Swami. So I pulled up just a random lecture, and I just fast-forwarded it, through the beginning prayers, maybe like 9 minutes in. And the first word he says is lethargy. And I was like, what is this about? So then I'm listening to this lecture, and I actually listened to it a couple times. And he's talking about how, fear causes lethargy. And how do we become fearless? And the only way to do that is, essentially chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But Prabhupada puts it a little bit in greater detail. This is from a purport from Srimad Bhagavatam 4:24-52. And this is actually a purport. Lord Shiva is a prayer to Krishna. He's glorifying the Lord's lotus feet. I'll just read the verse. My dear Lord, your 2 lotus feet are so beautiful that they appear like 2 blossoming petals of the lotus flower, which grows during the autumn season. Indeed, the nails of your lotus feet emanate such a great effulgence that they immediately dissipate all the darkness in the heart of a conditioned soul. My dear Lord, kindly show me that form of yours, which always dissipates all kinds of darkness in the heart of a devotee. My dear Lord, you are the supreme spiritual master of everyone. Therefore, all conditioned souls covered with the darkness of ignorance can be enlightened by you as a spiritual master. It's a long purport, but in Bhagavad Gita it is said that in order to make spiritual progress, one must become fearless. Abhayam sattva samshuddhihi. Fearfulness is the result of material involvement. It is also said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhayam dvityabhinishveshataha shat. Fearfulness is the creation of the bodily conception of life. As long as one is absorbed in the thought that he is this material body, he is fearful. And as soon as one is freed from this material conception, he becomes Brahmabhuta, or self-realized, and immediately becomes fearful. Brahmabhuta prasanatma. Without being fearless, one cannot be joyful. The bhaktas, the devotees, are fearless and always joyful because they are constantly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. It is also said, Evam prasana manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vigyanam mukta sangasya jayate. By practicing Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga, one becomes fearless and joyful. Unless one becomes fearless and joyful, he cannot understand the science of God. So, trying to tie all this together, this this word lethargy that kept coming up for me, it's like in devotional service we can become complacent and just chanting our rounds or just doing seva or just going through the motions. And I kind of feel like before Krishna made me listen to that lecture, maybe I was doing that a little bit. Maybe not. Sometimes we kind of plateau, if you will, and we don't give it our all. And that's where the lethargy sets in. You become complacent, and then everything becomes like a rote motion, and that's not what Krishna wants. And that's where that's not Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the development of a loving relationship with the Lord, and we need to, as we chant and try to we just need to push ourselves a little bit. That's the point I wanted to make. When you're fearful, you're afraid of you're afraid of the discomfort that might happen with whatever the situation is. It's easy to be complacent because then you're comfortable. But then the real spiritual, it seems the real spiritual progress comes when you really absorb yourself and push yourself further than you think you can go. Maybe make yourself a little more uncomfortable than you're used to. And then then there's like a greater awakening. It's I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't say it's like a fearlessness, but it's almost, it gives you a little bit of confidence to keep going. I remember growing up, there used to be these banners. Everybody was wearing a T-shirt, and they had bumper stickers that said "No fear" everywhere. It was like a popular thing or a fad. No fear. And even when I was a kid, I was like, really? You have no fear? I mean, really our fear should be to lose this great gift that we have, the great gift that Srila Prabhupada has given us, which is to be able to connect to Krishna, to be able to connect to the spiritual master, to be able to connect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through this process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And there's a ton of things I wanted to share today, but shortly after I was listening to this lecture, I was like, oh, I got all this inspiration, or kind of like, a little bit of jolt. And then I was chanting, I was thinking of like all the things that chanting helps to do. And these all begin with P. It gives us a sense of purpose. It starts to give us a sense of peace. It gives us a positive engagement, and rather than letting our mind wander and worry about things when really we have no control most of the time. And purification, it's a purifying process. And then gradually we will become fearless. We will have that joy, which is an inner satisfaction. Santosh, that's the name I was given. And I'm always searching after that inner satisfaction, that inner peace. And how do I get that? It's just by steadily trying to serve the spiritual master, serve Srila Prabhupada, and Lord Chaitanya and just surrender and try to knock out any crazy ideas I have and try not to get lost in the maya of the mind. Did anybody have any questions or comments? I don't know if we have any time, but I don't think so. Anyways, maya of the mind. It's so easy to get lost into, and that's like really the major maya that I think most of us have to deal with. And the only way to do that is engaging ourselves positively in hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, and trying to serve Krishna. Anyways, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Vandamaravindanalayataksham Varhavatam samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Angani yasa sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham
Namaha Vishnupataya Krishna Prasthaya Butterlay Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Samaniti Namande Namaste Hatswati Deve Goravani Neke Nivesesha Shunyavani Vasacha Desatarane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Ramanujat Nanda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sadi Gaurata Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Advaita Gadada Shiva Sadi Gaurata Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ramanujana Advaita Gadada Shiva Sadi Gaurata Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Ram Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai. Oh. Pregnant Hari Hari. All glorious. All glorious.
Chaitadarpanam Arjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Nimadata Saran Nakala Etadvishita Vakriba Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Hariva Manadena Kirtaniya Sadari. Lovely outfit. Yeah. Kavitam va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Bhatitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kribayata Vapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajushim Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashu Daraya Vadaram Gad Gaduridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tava Namagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Bravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahena Me Ashlishyavapadamritam Panastumam Adarshanam Marmahatakarotuva Yatatatava Vidadatulam Patomat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the surrounding street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Oh, Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name?